not understand the meaning of weight. Weight. Abstinence. Abstinence. You know what I'm saying? Just, you could do it. I think you mentioned that. You can stay, and wait till the right time. Folks tend to rush things. They think, well, I love him and he loves me, so it's okay. And we can even ask God to forgive us, and move on. But I want you to talk about this topic. When you hear about wrinkle-free women, what were you thinking? What came to your mind?
It's hard for women that are single to wait because of the world makes you believe, or society has come to make us to believe that if you don't do it now, you're going to miss out on something. So to wait means that you are marred in some sort. There's something that's wrong with you to wait. But I believe that you can wait on God and wait for the right person, wait for the right individual for God to send into your life so that you can be able to be happy, number one, and then be in the will of God at the same time. Right. So when I think of wrinkle-free women, I think of somebody who's able to wait and don't mind waiting. Don't think about what the pressures of the world, but that is able to push past the pressures, push past the wrinkles, if you want to say that, and be able to wait on God and wait on that individual that God is sending.
What would be the right word to tell somebody that would enable them to wait, that would motivate them to wait? Why would you advise a young girl that is, coming to society, growing up in society, and, she's about that age that, many begin to look and they might begin to approach them? What would you say to them?
Well, I would suggest that the first thing that I would want to point out is how special waiting is. That's the first thing, to point out how special waiting is. And as a single woman, as a single pastor, you don't want to lose it ahead of time. Because if you lose it ahead of time, then you lose the preciousness of it. So I would want to share with young women how you're waiting to give away what we call the precious. You're waiting to give away what we call the diamond. You're waiting to give it away, not because of anything other than it's precious to you. Once you lose it, if you lose it or give it away too soon, you never can get that moment back. So that's the thing that I would stress. You don't want to lose that moment. You only have that moment once. You only have that opportunity once. So if you give it away too soon, if you give it away too fast, then the next person won't experience the real you, the real genuine you, that real wrinkle-free part of you. They won't get a chance to experience that because you've tried it on, so to speak. So that's what I would suggest. I would suggest telling them about the preciousness of it.
How special it is. It is special. And we don't understand that it's that special, so we try to distribute it around. We give it to anybody that comes around, and we don't know that it's that special. I'm glad you brought that piece up because folks need to know, you are special, and you have to wait for that right person to come along, because when you share something special with somebody special, you know what I mean? It brings a uniqueness within it, and you enjoy the fullness of it because you're sharing something special with someone special. I think that is big, coming out of your parents' home. What did you experience in the world? What was your life experience? I want you to give us a little bit of that.
So being the baby of 10, I was basically sheltered. Everything that I could experience or I could try, it had already been tried. So I didn't get an opportunity to go out and try it, by myself or on my own. It had already been experienced. But once I did get out there, I desired something different. I wanted to be the one to mess up. I wanted to be the one that tried it. They called me the black sheep of the family, and I really didn't understand that then, but I was always different. I wanted to understand why. I always had that question, why I can't do this? Why is it that you saying that my brothers and sisters have gone on before me and they know the way? I wanted to experience the way myself. So for me, it was an interesting road, but at the same time, it was a road that was basically patterned for me because they went ahead of me and I didn't get a chance to do it the way I wanted to do it. So if I was to tell someone else, if you came along like I did in a family that's that big, just follow the ropes, so to speak. There were times when my sister, who was supposed to watch me, she was the one that was doing all the other things. And when I would watch her, I would want to do those things, but it was always something that kept me from doing it. I was always the different one. So when I look at how I came up, I look at, I didn't really get a chance to get out there and get in the trouble that I really desired to get in.
Well, you're blessed. God bless you because, some of us, we come around like this. back home and beg mommy and daddy. I remember one time, praise God, I remember one time that we were, I remember brothers and sisters, we prepared, it was Christmas time. And we made an arrangement. My mom and dad had, it was 7 of us. My mom is sitting back there, she's gonna hear this. She never heard this before, but she's gonna hear this tonight. We come together and we said, well, we because our parents want us to be back home. It's Christmas. I don't know how you celebrate Christmas, but back in those days, when it's Christmas time, we like to go out and spend time with our friends. I mean, Christmas is so big. I didn't take Christmas what it is, really. I took Christmas like an opportunity to party. So when we were growing up, me and my brothers and sisters would say, well, if we all go out and come back in the morning, because they want us to come back at a certain time, curfew time, Daddy and Mommy can't beat all of us at one time. Yes. It's 7 of us, so let's make this arrangement. We all leave the house at one time and come back in the morning. We left and we went away. Everybody went their way and came back early. And I'm there thinking everybody is somewhere partying, so let me go out and party. And they probably got tired of partying and just decided to go home early. And I did not go home that early. I came home the time that we were supposed to come home. The agreement, they failed me that they let me down big time. When I got home, it was dead break and you can see the light. You know, it's easy when you come on this dark, you can crawl in. So I came back home and I'm coming thinking I'm, like confident, like I'm fine, nothing gonna happen, I'm good. I walked right through the gate, went in. My brother Divine, the one that followed right behind me, he pulled me to the side. He said, Khalees. I said, what? He said, I said, you just got home? He said, no, I've been home. I said, okay, what about Terrence? What about Aries? Oh, they're home, they be sleeping. I said, okay, what about Priska? Oh, she's home. Come on, I want to talk to you. I said, what? What's going on? And he said, I want you to run. Don't come back home. Because they're going to kill you. So I'm here, all afraid, and I'm like, what am I going to do? I said, I don't have no money. I don't have nothing to do. I mean, I was probably in high school. I don't know. I think maybe almost going to high school, something like that. I don't have no money with me. He went home, and he went in the house, in the room, packed my little few clothes up, and put in a little plastic bag, and brought it to me and said, here, I got this little 500. You take it, and you go, because they're going to kill you. I don't want you to die. And that's how I left. I was scared, didn't know what to do. And I left, we lived in Bamenda. I went to Kuma. It's like living from Maryland to California. That far. I took a bus and I went to my aunt. And when I got there, my aunt was like, this is unusual. When you come for a holiday, you bring food, you bring stuff, because my parents will pack stuff for you to bring to them when you go on vacation to visit them. But this one, you came with a little bag and something was wrong. I said, no, everything is fine. She said, something was wrong. So she went and called my dad and said, I'm there with them. I mean, long story short, but that's how far we went. That's how far we went. I grew up in that area where I won my way out, but I began to learn as I come to Christ and I began to know God. I began to learn some different things that I did not know. I bless God for you because you grow up where they can, you have, the grown ones ahead of you that can teach you, that can direct you, and it was more smoother for you than it was for me. But again, I thank God for the hole that I fell in, because this hole helped me to learn and to be who I am today. It really did. And I'm going to share more with you tonight. But I want to, go back to Dr. Lisa. As a pastor, because I want to look into the church, into the community. As a pastor, is it, when you begin to minister to women about, waiting, what is the response? What do you get from them? Are they willing to listen to you, or they willing to say, Pastor, yes, but then they go behind your back, or they're willing to say, I'm going to try what she's saying.
As a pastor, one of the things that I've noticed, both for the young as well as for the old, the young, they think they know it all. That's the first thing. They think they know it all, and you really can't tell them anything. Their mindset when it comes to you talking to them about waiting is that it's all spiritual. That's how they look at it. It's all spiritual, or you don't understand, or you're not where I am. And I remember, just to go back a minute to just add to some of the stuff that you were saying, even in growing up with the family, being at the bottom and all of that. I remember even trying some things. Like I said, they did it before me, so it was hard, but it did not prevent me from trying. Okay? It didn't prevent me from trying. I remember when I would be singing, I started off singing. I used to sing in church. And I remember that I would go to our singing engagement dressed one way and have a bag packed. The person that dropped me off at church was not going to be the person that took me home. Okay, so I tried. I'm trying to show you that even in a family that big, we still try. You still try. My family was not a spiritual family. I grew up in the Catholic church, so we weren't a real spiritual family, but in the midst of all of that, I wanted my own way. I wanted what they said as being a black sheep. So when you're trying to talk to young people, I think they are like I was when I was coming along. You don't understand because you're married or you've already talked to the Lord and you understand holding on, but you don't understand where I am now. So talking to them, they didn't get it. Older people are a little different because the way they see it when we talk about it is that you're going to miss your time. That's what I always hear. My clock is ticking. I didn't know I had a clock. But they're always talking about their clock ticking. I have people talking to me, you're almost 50 years old. What are you going to do? I'm going to wait on God. That's what I'm going to do. I believe that I can stop the clock. If it's ticking, I can stop it and start it again. So that's what we got to understand, that when you are with God or when you are trying to wait on God's best, you can't listen to the world. And those are the things that they'll tell you, from those that you swing with to your doctor. They will let you know you have to. Your clock is ticking. My daughter, I told you that she is actually a child that I'm raising. She's not birthed by me, but I had her since birth. And I remember my doctor saying to me, when are you going to? Because your clock is ticking. But I believe that even if I turn 50, my mother had me when she was old. Okay? She had me when they called me a change of the life baby. So if she can have me at a change of the life, then when God says yes, I can have me a change of the life baby. So that's how I view it. You have to wait on God and shut down everything that everybody is telling you in the world. And that's basically what I would say.
God's time is the best, and He will come through once you wait. We're going to take a short break in a moment. We're going to come back.